Hey guys, today we're going to take a closer look at getting set up to use the EPSON interactive projector. So the EPSON interactive projector is a little bit of a unique setup compared to some of the smart boards and some of the smart panels we have in the district. Now you'll notice on the board my projector is already turned on, but I don't have a smart board. I don't have a device that this is projecting on. We're just projecting onto a standard whiteboard. In fact, this is just the standard classroom whiteboard in this room. Some classrooms that have the EPSON interactive projectors might have a whiteboard actually mounted on the wall to project on, but again, it's just a whiteboard. So what makes this different? Well, with the smart boards, the smart board device is what senses your touch. However, the board is sending those touch signals back to your computer, and your computer acts as the brain for the interactivity. EPSON takes a different approach. Instead of sending all the signals to the computer and letting it translate the different touches and the interactivity, all of that occurs inside this projector up here at the top. So how does it do it? Well, this device right here acts as a sensor, and then we just simply need to use the EPSON pens. You'll notice right here on the side I have a little drawer that I can open, and inside I have two pens. I have a blue one and an orange one. Now these are powered by a simple AA battery, and you'll notice down below my screen down here I have a little AA battery charger to use rechargeable batteries with these pens. So it's important to make sure your pens and the batteries are charged so that this system will work. So today I'm going to use this one, and you will notice that as soon as I touch on the screen, a couple options pop up. Now keep in mind, I am not plugged into a computer at all. So the one on the very bottom down here, well, actually you'll notice I'm not even really lined up. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to orient this board. To do that, I need my remote. Now on your remote, there is a menu button. When we click that, it's going to bring up the standard menus. Now inside this menu structure, we're going to go down on the left-hand side by pushing the down arrow to Extended. This is where the interactive features live. Inside of this, the very top option is the Easy Interactive function. So I'm going to push the middle button to select that, and the very first option that pops up is called Auto Calibration. So I'm going to click there, and it's going to tell me it's going to start auto-calibrating. Now, there's a couple things it wants you to do. First of all, make sure your projector's focused. Mine looks really good. Set up the projector so that the patterned image fits within the frame of the screen. I think we're good. And then click Yes. It says, please move away from the screen during the calibration and wait just a few moments. All right, so now we're back, and as you can see, we are calibrated, all through the use of the remote. So let's go back over here to our pen. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to click on the screen, and now I have my menus that I can see. So across the bottom, I have a few controls. The main one to worry about is over here on the right-hand side. It's a little down arrow. If I click on that, it hides the menu. If I click on it again, it will bring it right back. Now inside of this, you can control some of the volumes and zooming in and out on the projector, but one of the convenient buttons is the power button over here on the left. If I click that one, it actually gives me the ability to turn off the power to the projector without having to use the remote or reach up to the top. But we're not ready for that right now. So what else can this do? What makes this different? Well, over here on the right, I have a button. When I click on that button, I have two separate options, and this is where EPSON really differs from our smart boards. First of all, you'll notice one of them has a picture of a mouse with a laptop behind it, and the other has a picture of a projector with a pen on it. Let's start with that one. So when I go to this mode, this is called PC-free annotation. Basically what it means, again, not hooked up to a computer, but it means I have access to a whole drawer of pens. So if I click on one of these, I can start annotating directly on my projection without having to even be hooked up to anything. And at the top of the menu that flew out, I even have the ability to go into a whiteboard mode where I can write on just a white screen. Really convenient. So let's go back to our normal screen, the projection mode, and let's flip back over. I'm going to click on the pen with the projector again, but let's go back over to mouse mode. Now, what this is called PC interactive mode. So we need to hook up a computer before we go any further. Come on over here. On my desk here, I've got a laptop. It's up and running, but we're not hooked up to anything. So let's walk through how to do that. So the first two cords we're going to look at are power and our internet. These are pretty standard across most computers, so we're going to go ahead and plug those into their respective ports. But now we're going to hook up our projector. And there's two cords that are vital to do this. The first is called a VGA cord. It's usually the one with the larger end on it, and it has a lot of pins inside. There's usually only one spot that'll plug in on your computer, so make sure it's oriented correctly and plug it in. Now on the wall, you will see that this also plugs into a port that looks just the same. So go ahead and plug that in now. Now the next cord we're going to look at is the USB cable. The rectangular end is the end that goes into your computer, so let's go ahead and find a USB port and plug that in. And then on the wall, there's a port that looks a lot like a square house with slanted sides on one end. So let's go ahead and plug that one in to finish setting up the USB connection. So great, now let's head back over here to our projector. As you can see, the signal from my computer already got sent over to the projector once I plugged it in. And if you remember correctly, we were in PC interactive mode. We'll talk about that again in a moment. So when I pick up my pen, if I touch the board, I now can control the mouse on my computer. So I can move icons, I can draw selection boxes, I can open things. It's just as if I am controlling my computer with a mouse, but I get to do it up here at the projection with my pen. So I'm going to close this one. Now, what if I wanted to write on my screen? There's a couple ways I can do this. If I happen to have Smart Notebook or active pens inside PowerPoint, I can use a software-based pen system. So I could open Notebook and go ahead and start writing. But if I want to use the inking built into the projector, we have to go back to PC-free annotation mode. So over here on the right-hand side, that button that we've clicked a couple times now, where it has the picture of the laptop and the mouse, I'm going to click on that, and we're going to go back to the pen mode. When I go back to pen mode, you'll see that I can still see the projection from my computer. However, when I write, I can write on the screen. I cannot, however, select my icons anymore. So this is where the major difference between EPSON and the smart projectors lies. I have two modes in EPSON. Pen mode, where I can write on my screen, and then I have PC control mode, and they're separate. So that's the basics of getting up and running on your EPSON interactive projector. We hope this sets you off to have a good year.